Hi everybody, my name is Tokumbo Olympio. Welcome to today's show. You're watching us live on Afrocentric TV channel 15.8. I have this wide smile on my face and you're going to know in just a few minutes why I am this excited. I'm going to tell you a little biography, but I'm going to say His Royal Highness will tell you. Now I'm giving you clues. You don't know who we're going to be talking to, but I'll tell you before I give you the person's name. So he's currently 78 years old and will be 79 years old by September 14, 2022. Do you have an idea who I'm talking about? I'm sure you don't know yet. He is the paramount ruler of Egba land in Abeokuta, Ogun State. Now you know. Do you know his name? I give you a few seconds to guess, but I'm going to help you because we don't have too much time to wait. He's no other than His Royal Highness, the paramount ruler of Egbaland, as I said, Oba Michael Adedotun Gbadebo, who that I'm not supposed to say his name like that, but just for you to have the knowledge and to know who he is. So join me in welcoming His Royal Highness as I greet him in the Yoruba language.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. It's such a wonderful time in Houston, because we're in Houston, Texas. It's such a wonderful time in Houston, Texas, to have your person in your full regalia with your authority here with us. And the whole world wants to know you. They've seen you online, they've seen you on TV, but they want to know who this father is. So, guys, please listen to our Kabisi.
Well, you have already introduced me. Although you said His Royal Highness, that is the son of a king. I am His Royal Majesty. His Royal Majesty. I am not His Highness.
Guys, please send in your comments and help me apologize because I don't want to be in trouble. So His Royal Majesty, get that right. Yes, sir.
Well, I am 78, going 79, as you said.
Yes, sir.
And I have been on the throne of my forefathers for 17 years now.
Yes, sir.
I was in the army for 16 years, in the Nigerian army. I was a businessman, and I've been involved in promoting the culture, usages, and the tradition of my people, even from when I was a young boy. So I'm not a stranger to the work that I'm doing now.
Wow. I have a lot of questions because I want to know you as a child. How were you groomed to one day take up this position that you're in currently?
Well, as a young boy, I lived directly opposite the Alake Palace. And every son of an Oba or grandson is called Omoba.
Omoba.
Or they call them Oba Lola. So they believe that someday one of you will be the king. But because it does not go from father to son, it will be from a number of direct male descendants would compete, and they would look at the standing of each one and other considerations and choose somebody.
When you said compete, what type of competition was it?
Well, you would appear before a panel.
Okay.
The kingmakers in Alake are 30 in number, and you will appear before them. They will score you points, and they will vote. So it's democratically, elected Oba that becomes Alake.
And part of what was the major criteria for choosing you?
Well, you have to ask those who chose me. But I know that they realized that I had experience in leadership training,
yes,
which is the basic thing that you learn in the army.
Okay.
And which is what you do as an Oba. You must empathize with your people. You must want what they want. That's why they always pray. Egba only come what only come Egba. So that will be in between you and your people. There'll be, conversation all the time, with one not refusing to listen to the other. Otherwise, everything would have broken down.
Which reminds me of the story of, is it Prophet David? Because he served before he became a leader, and from your story, you served the country in different ranks. You go through the ranks to become the Oba of Egbaland. And what do you think about being a servant leader?
A servant leader is one that identifies the goal of his people, and he does not, lead all the time from the front. He goes to the middle, he goes to the back. He encourages them to keep moving towards the target that they have set for themselves. So he should galvanize his people, and that's what I do.
Awesome. I was thinking, Kabesi, that being with a military background, did people think that your mode of governance, were they ever worried about your mode of governance, if it was going to be the military style or if it was just going, because if I remember correctly, I don't think that there has ever been any Oba in Egbaland that had the military background.
None.
Yes.
At my coronation, the president of Nigeria at that time, General Olusegun Obasanjo, warned my people. He said, don't annoy him. He's a soldier. Don't do anything that will make him behave like a soldier. And usually the civilians look at soldiers as people who have no patience. So all the time I bear this at the back of my mind, that I must not be unnecessarily harsh. I must not talk of bloody. You bloody, you whatever. I don't want to use the language of soldiers.
I know.
So that has been the case for 17 years.
That's wonderful, and I hope that the Egba people have been able to benefit from your wealth of experience in the military, and because I see that there's a lot of growth in Egbaland. So thank you so much, Kabesi.
They showed me so much love, far beyond what I expected.
And may God continue to bless you, to guide you in all the ways that you need to become or to keep being the great king that you are.
Thank you.
So we have a number of questions that people have sent, because they all were so excited to know that they can ask you direct questions. One of the questions is that, kindly tell us a little history about the Egbaland.
Well, the Egbas are a sub-tribe of the Yorubas. We occupy a piece of land about 100 miles by about 50 miles. And that means from when you are getting out of Lagos, almost from Ojudubega, until you are almost in Ibadan, Bakatari. Same thing from Erua side, Igboara, near the Ibarakwas, who are in Oyo State, to almost the Nigerian border with Dahomey. You have a few miles of Yewa land separating us from the Republic of Benin, and the same Yewa from Yewa North all down to Yewa South, Agbara area. They have common border with Egbas. We are in Ota, and like I said, it's about 100 miles by about 50 miles, and the population over 6 million people.
Wow. And one of the other questions, because I'll still come back to what you said just now, is that what is significant about the Egbaland?
Egbaland is significant for a number of things. One, they say our language is, like we're singing. So no wonder most of the outstanding Yoruba musicians are Egbas. Oh yes, they said that our language is sweet and rhythmical, and we talk a lot of sense in our rhythm, in our lyrics. The lyrics make so much sense, and we are the first to be educated the Western way. We're the first to have contact with the white man, and so on and so forth. That's why we produce the first Chief Justice of the Federation, first doctor, engineer, name it. And we have not stopped producing.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, they also want to know that you said that. Now, that brings me to my next question, because you talked about the dialect that people said that it sounds like singing or like music. What is the dialect called? And could you say something in that dialect right now?
Well, the Egba dialect is also known as Egba.
Okay.
So if you are from that part of Nigeria, they call it Babalegba.
Babalegba?
Yes, that is Baba Egba father. And we share some words with Ijebus, okay, but we have some words that are peculiar to us.
Okay.
Oruwo, for instance, is head.
Oruwo is head?
Yes, and we shared this with Remos, with some townships in Remo. But most of our words, are Yoruba words. But the way we pronounce it, Bawa, as we say, so it is.
Okay.
I know how
We'll say meaning that the lie is not enough?
That you are not a big time liar.
Oh, do you know the big time liar?
Yeah, that you don't tell too many lies.
Oh, wow.
So rather than argue with themselves, they will settle the matter.
Especially when there are other people from other tribes with them.
Who are looking at them.
Okay. So there's solid brotherhood in Egba land.
That's right.
That's wonderful. And then the next question is this: what is it like to be the Alake of Egba land?
Well, it's like carrying a lot of load on your head. That's why I had to get out of Abeokuta to come to Houston, Texas.
To relax a bit.
To come and talk to the people who make it work in Abeokuta.
Okay, so you're not even relaxing, you're still working?
No, well, I am also relaxing. I've played golf virtually every other day since I got here.
Oh, wow.
So they are the people here who give scholarships to our children in Abeokuta, in Egba land. They are the ones who do, health screening. They are the ones who have provided, all the requirements in many hospitals in Egba land today. They are the Egba National Association in USA and Canada.
In USA and Canada, that's wonderful.
That's why I am here to encourage them, thank them first and encourage them to do more for their people, and they're doing a lot already.
Even talking about them, I can see the joy in your face that you're really happy with what they're doing.
Yes, I am.
Thank you so much. And I know that they have events even, they've had events piled up even till Sunday.
Even tonight, yes, they will soon be here.
And they're also very happy because I've heard that they're so happy that you're supporting them and then you grace them with your presence. So thank you very much for that, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay. One of the questions that I have personally, because I know that there's a lot that I can learn from you, and I know we don't have enough time. If it's possible, I get in your bag and follow you everywhere and say, I want to learn from the KBSC himself. Right. So as the paramount king of the paramount king of the Egba people, what should the people hope for during your reign?
Well, they hope to have their lot improve. They hope that their children will have better education, better profession. They hope that during my time, those who have been tenants will now be landlords. Those who have been trekking all over the place will now have Okada and ride in their own personal cars and so on and so forth. That their lot will get better. And that is my mission also. Because we have been told that when the 10th Alake gets on the throne, Egba land will change and become another developed place.
Egba is almost as big as some countries in the world itself. So
thank you.
May God make that easy.
Thank you.
Now back to my questions, because what I was going to ask. If anybody Googles you right now, one of the first things that will come out is the only traditional ruler monarch in Nigeria that has one wife. It's one of the, and then they also put that he's been married for 51 years. Looking at the society, there's a lot of marriages breaking down, divorce happening here and there. What is the advice that you can give to couples and families so that they can ensure that they maintain their home? Because I believe that with a solid home, then we can have a solid community.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Well, there is no perfect marriage anywhere in the world. It is the two people that must determine that they will make their own marriage to work. Nobody can claim that it's so perfect that everything that has happened to their marriage has been from the other side. You have your own contribution. So the moment the two of you know that if you are determined that we would succeed,
Yes, sir.
of course, God will assist you to succeed.
Yes, sir.
If you tell him this is what we want, and we are determined, to take care of your arrogance and reduce your what you think is good about you that is not, that nobody else has.
Okay.
Then the thing will work.
Yes.
I grew up in a polygamous home, and I was determined from that time that I will not let my children go through
that.
what we went through. So that is it.
That's wonderful. Another one that they want to know how you met your wife.
Well, we met in Abeokuta on my 21st birthday. There was a small party, and then she came there. She came with her cousin, and seeing her, I just said, "This is the woman I'm going to marry."
Instantly?
Yes, I said so.
Wow.
Something moved me. Something inside me moved.
Did you go to her immediately, like to say you're going to be my wife, or
No, I just said I want to see you again and again.
And she said yes.
Why not?
Oh wow. That's wonderful. I can't wait to ask her her own side of the story. And I know that there was no phone, like mobile phones.
No,
then,
that was not, but that was the phone that you dial.
Was there any staying under the tree or asking someone to go and call
No,
the auntie or
I went
sister?
into their house anytime I had to see her.
Really?
There was no corner love.
No kind of. And how long did it take you from the first day you saw her to the day you married her? Like how long was that?
It took us 7 years.
7 years.
Because we were just in school. I was in higher school, and she was in Form 4 going to Form 5.
Wow.
And we didn't get married until when she was in her final year, 2 months to her examination.
And now it's been 51 beautiful years of marriage.
Correct.
That's awesome, guys. You see, just go and Google it, and if you need any advice, the king will be there to tell you. Or he's told you anyway, but I don't know if you ever have the opportunity, but because you might not have the opportunity, we have it right now, and now you've heard it. My final question, sir, is because I saw that before we even started the interview, I heard you say some prayers. And as the paramount ruler, a traditional ruler of the Yoruba people, and with the culture that we have, how does religion play in the tradition of the Egba land?
Well, religion has a major role to play in our tradition. Religion agrees very much with our values. It sort of re-emphasized our values. Because, when the first missionaries came to Abeokuta in 1843, in 1845, Henry Townsend and Buckley Wood, the two gentlemen who came in 1843, wanted to go back home for holiday, back to England. And Oba Kukenu, he was not an Oba then, he was just head of the Ogbonis, gave a letter to Henry Townsend to give to Queen Victoria. Please tell us the secret of the success of a small nation that was ruling the whole world. That was the question. And Queen Victoria sent the Bible to us. The Bible is still in Alake Palace.
Wow, I didn't know that part of the story.
Said she referred us to Proverbs 14:34, which says righteousness makes a nation great. That no nation can be great through corruption, through stealing, through idleness. You must be righteous. You must be hardworking. there are no two ways to success. And that is what our two religions, the two major religions, that's what they stand upon.
Okay.
You know. So to our people, religion has been a great, that's placed a greater emphasis on our values. And we thank God for this. They are not in conflict at all.
Wow, I'm overwhelmed with the information because I've actually read about the how the media started in Nigeria, and if you look at the history, it still goes back to the Egba kingdom and how Erin Townsend was able to bring religion and how it has grown to what it has become today. But I never heard that the king himself gave a letter to Erin Townsend to the queen.
Yes.
That is how.
Tell us your secret.
Yes.
And that's what the queen sent back as their secret for success.
Okay, that's wonderful. And one of the things that I picked, because I see that you do not tolerate corruption in any way, and with some of our youths who have found other ways of quick money through maybe internet scam or any other vices, what would be your advice to them?
Well, we have told them several times that they just have to forget about any corner. They just have to work hard. Yes. And we call the meeting of all the herbalists, because if there are no herbalists telling them to go and read the head of a woman or the hand of a girl, or to go and bring one thing or the other, one spare part of, they will not go out and want to make quick money by killing people and taking those parts.
Okay.
We told the herbalists that they were on their own, that nobody would help them if they got into any trouble. That they should tell the young men who are looking for a quick way of making money to go back to work.
To go back to work.
Yes, and work very hard.
Yes. Guys, you've heard it from words of wisdom from His Royal Majesty himself, that go back to work. Be diligent. Don't no corner like he said. No shortcut to success. He grew through the ranks from serving the country to he's still serving the Egba people, and you can learn one or two things from that. From being a servant leader, there's a lot of things that you can learn from looking at the life of Oba here, His Royal Majesty Oba Adedotun Gbadebo himself. I'm saying that name with all respect, sir. So thank you so much, sir, for your time. We wish we could spend more time with you, and I know a lot of people have many questions. If you ever want to talk to the Oba, you can go all the way to Nigeria in Abeokuta to the Alake's palace. That's what it's called, sir.
Correct.
Yes, you can go there and there will be somebody there, and if you're lucky enough, you would even see the Oba himself. And thank you again one
You're
more time.
welcome.
And
thank you.
On that note, we're going to call it a wrap today. My name is Tokunbo Olympio, and you're watching Afrocentric TV channel 15.8. Do not touch that dial.